but it requires this. You're going to want to write this down. Okay? The secret to success in building a business anywhere. Okay? Number one, this is your first step. Build a list. And a lot of people go, oh, but I don't know anybody. Okay? There's ways to build a list even when you don't know anybody. Now, that's probably beyond the scope of this particular discussion, but I just want you to understand it can be done. Okay? And that's important. A lot of people kind of groan and say, well, I don't know how to do that. But the fact of the matter is, no matter what you do in business, you're going to be building a list. Okay? Number two.
Can you kind of describe more like what that entails, building a list?
Well, it entails a lot of different things. I'll tell you a story to answer your question. Maybe this will answer your question. This is a book that my wife and I wrote. I gave her the credit. Her name's on it, but I did all the work. And the reason why I gave her the credit was because it's called Timeless Principles of Raising Great Kids. Okay? And we wanted to sell this book to as many people as we could, or when we were thinking about this concept. And we didn't have a list. We didn't have a lot of people. And the other thing we were doing is we were working with this lady right here who'd written a book, and she was growing her list. This is Glean. I don't know if any of you have heard of her. She wrote a book called Parenting of Family United or something like that.
House United?
House United, yeah, House United, okay. And so we got with her, and she had 5,000 people already on her list, okay? And I knew that that was probably what, in internet terms, was called a C list, okay? There's A lists. These are people who have hundreds of thousands of people on their list. There's B lists with people with 20 to 100,000 people on their list, and then there's C lists, 5 to 15,000 people on their list. So she was a C list. Then there's the D list. That was us. We didn't have anybody. Okay. All right. And so we went to her, and she wanted to do some more writing and things like that. And so we said, well, let's work together. And so what we did was we literally went to over a dozen different best-selling authors. Okay, they'd all gone out and written best-selling authors. I'll tell you who some of these people are. Go over this here. Stephen Palmer, Ty Bennett, Rich Christensen, Diane Jepson, Leslie Householder, Nathan Jarowitz, Wayne Allen Root, Chad Hymas, Jerry Norton, Oliver and Rachel DeMille. Have you heard of any of those guys? Okay. We went to these people and we said, write a chapter for our book. And we will promote your product, your book, your course, your seminar, whatever, to all of the lists of all the other authors. Okay? This now represents a list of over 500,000 people. This book. Okay? We did it in 30 days.
That's awesome.
All right? So we literally had access to 500,000 people within 30 days. We went from 0 list to 500,000 people. Okay? So there's ways to build lists. That's all I'm telling you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of other techniques. That's just one of them. And there's a lot more to it. I'm simplifying it.
Do you have a recommendation of where to go to, like research or study how to build and grow that sort of thing?
There's stuff all over the internet. And the scope of this presentation probably is a little, is a more thumbnail than what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But let me address a point that you're bringing up indirectly. And that is the internet was designed to gather and disseminate information. That's all it was. It's just information brokering. Any question you have, and I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name again?
Jeannie.
Jeannie.
Mm-hmm.
Jeannie, what you can do is that internet has the answer to all your questions. Mm-hmm. And you can literally go, how do I build lists? Okay. And go into Google or your search engine, how do I build lists? And you will literally have just hundreds of ways. There's some of the ways you can do for free, some of the ways that cost you, you have to make an investment. Mm-hmm. But that's the power. What I want to convey to you today is, as young people, you can use this internet for a lot more than just watching YouTube videos and using it as an entertainment piece. For me, I absolutely hate computers, and I've been working with computers my whole life. Okay, this thing is nothing more to me than a hammer and a nail. And I don't see any carpenters running around going, "Gee, I sure like my hammer. I think I'll play with it today." Yeah, it's a tool. you know.
Yeah.
For me, this is a tool. It's not my source of entertainment. But if you want to see it as a tool and use it as a tool, then you can now turn it to have it, again, create that economy for you and have it help you create your economy. And so that information is out there. This was just one simple example because it was dynamic and powerful. But there are many, many others. A lot of people, you know, if you, I don't know if you're on LinkedIn, that's another social media site like Facebook, but it's more geared toward professionals and, you know, the engineers and the attorneys and the accountants, and we do that kind of thing. But one of the things that LinkedIn does that Facebook doesn't is it tells you, it calculates for you how many people are in your network, how many people are on your list, if you will. Now, I've signed up about 500 people directly under me, under LinkedIn. I have about 500 people in my network. That'd be like having 500 friends in Facebook, okay? And I've got about that many on Facebook too. But the question is how many people are on the next level down, okay? And that next level down goes into the tens of thousands, okay? And LinkedIn calculates it for you. I won't take the time to go show you mine. But within 3 levels, my level, my 500, their people, and the people under them, I have over 3.2 million people in my network. And if I want to if I wanted an introduction to one of those people, all I have to do is go to my level and say, introduce me to that person, would you please? And they'll do it just like that. Okay? So you can meet anybody. I've got celebrities in my, you know, I've got politicians in my direct network. But, you know, if I wanted, you know, to meet Mitt Romney, okay, I could in about 10 minutes. I'm only 2 handshakes away. In fact, I'm less than 2 because I met his cousin a month ago. Okay, so I'm even closer to Mitt than, okay. And so what I'm saying is you're all close to people you need to meet, the resources you need to do whatever it is you want to do. Okay, that's the power of what you have sitting in your computer room at home. Okay, and of course you need people, build lists, contacts. They're all going to help you do what you want to accomplish. Okay, I'm going to show you some more. So number 2, after you build your list, here's the second step. You add value to your list. Now I mentioned earlier, how am I doing on time? Because I'm probably taking way too much time to talk. You add value to your list. And what I mean by that is people who, you know, want to do business with you or to have a relationship with you online through business or whatever, they need to see value in it. It's the old what's in it for me factor. Okay? And so you have to add value to that list. Now the example I gave you earlier is Professor Enterprise is doing a video MBA and he's giving it away for free. Okay? Where other people will, you know, charge, you know, hundreds or thousands of dollars for a DVD set to teach people how to do business. Well, I'm going to blow all that out of the water because I'm going to put a world-class quality product together you don't have to pay a thing for. Now why am I doing that? I'm building a new list. Okay? And the way I do that is I attract people to me through something that I'm giving to them for free. Okay? And so, you know, over time, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people are going to come and participate and learn from that video MBA, and I've given them something of extreme value. I've added value to that list. So that's my second step. So I'm building a list by bringing people to it, giving them something for free. There's even more. I'm even taking it a step further. I've collected over the last 30 years business plans that I've written, legal documents that I've written, everything that you can imagine that is involved in setting up a business, the business of setting up a business. And I've kept all these things in my files for 30 years. And I've got some fat files. And so I'm going to give those away for free too. Now, where am I going to monetize all of this? Where am I? This is the third step, by the way. Monetize your list. Okay? In other words, make money on your list. Now, let me take a step and deviate from that for just a second and tell you what a list is worth. if you have been building a list and you've been adding value to that list, whether it's giving away something free, or it's information, or some other content-rich thing, but you know, you're keeping people on your list. Maybe it's a weekly newsletter that you're writing, okay, or maybe it's a blog, okay, but something that they're getting that they see as valuable in terms of that, what you're offering them. And we can talk about some more examples as we go through some of my samples here in a minute. But at some point in time, you want to start monetizing that list. That list, I'll tell you what it is, in the internet industry, that list is worth $1 a month per person on that list. Okay? If you do it right, that list will be worth $1 a month per person.
Like YouTube will pay you and stuff?
Well, I'm going to talk to you about how you monetize that, but yes, that's one of the examples I was going to bring up.
Oh.
Okay? So if you're adding to your list, no, you're okay. If you're adding to your list every month, and you're adding value to your list, giving them something of value, okay, some form or fashion, then when it's time to make money on that list, it's worth $1 a month per person. Now, will every single person send you $1 a month? No. Okay. But what'll happen is you'll sell enough product or services to that list as a community that you've created that will be worth roughly $1 a month per person. So, in other words, if you had 10,000 people on your list, okay, and you're doing everything right, and you're learning how to work with these people, that list will be worth $10,000 a month to you in income. That's how much you can conceivably make off of that list. Okay? So when you start looking at it in those terms, you can chunk it down and see how valuable this could be to you.